We've been reviewing other locations as well.
The United States is just a fast developing economy.
It's an extremely standardized market.
These two places, Nashville and Miami,
A big part of our success is understanding the customer.
we'll take it step by step.
Good morning. My name is Zuzana Kurek. I'm Investor Relations Manager at One United Properties. Today morning, we have made an exciting announcement. One United Properties is building presence in the United States. I am joined today by Căpitanu and Andrei Diaconescu, and we are going to discuss our plans in the United States and what it means for the future of the company. Hi, Victor. Hi, Andrei. The first question, why United States and why now?
We have been trying to expand our presence for the last 5 years, and we have looked to few locations in Europe. We haven't been successful with that. So in the last 2 years, we started looking also in the United States, and we found that the market is very large, very liquid, and very investor friendly. So this is how we decided to start the operation there. We found this a good plot of land in Nashville, which is one of the fastest growing locations in the United States. And we want to start there like a pilot project to see how it works developing there.
So real estate in the United States of America, many times when people hear about real estate, they think New York, California, maybe Miami. You decided to start in Tennessee and Nashville. Why so? What did you find there?
Well, we've been reviewing other locations as well. So over the years, we've been to New York, we've been to California, Florida. So they're all obviously great locations, right? But what we found interesting is that Tennessee is one of the fastest growing states in the United States. The entire residential market there is approximately $1 trillion, comparable to the size of Romania. Just when you land in Nashville, you have a huge airport with like 100 gates, and they're building another one with another 100 gates. So that shows that the inflow of people and capital over the last years and going forward, the prediction for the future are there. It's a very friendly state, if you want. It's a very well-regulated state, so everything there is extremely precise. Specifically, I mean, we've been talking to architects in the area, and the urbanism code was something like 170 pages with details for every little thing. Procedures are very fast. The market is extremely standardized, so people know exactly what they want. People are extremely professional. There is a structural deficit of housing, so approximately 90,000 houses are missing currently. Having in view the expansion of the state, we believe that that's going to grow. So we see, let's say, probably a bit less competition than established locations like New York, like where everybody wants to go. But with the depth and with the liquidity, which is matching that of the prime locations.
I think what is also very interesting about Nashville and Tennessee is the level of the net migrations. So we are talking about 100 people daily who are moving to that area. And I also have a personal story. So coincidentally, I was in Franklin, Tennessee last year. I have visited it because one of my friends from university, he actually did move several years ago from San Diego, so from California, one of the states that many people think they would like to actually live. He actually did move because of all these reasons: the job market, the safety, the prospects, the ongoing development that is in Tennessee, he did move to Nashville. So, and he did take me to Franklin. So it was, I think it's a proof that there are, these are real, for us maybe it's statistics, but also there are real stories of people who actually do migrate. And I think it's much easier in the United States. And this is something that is important to understand, the process of net migration within the US states. And I wanted to ask you, because I know you have been in Nashville, and what did you like? What did you find interesting? Because I think not many Romanians will know much about the state of Tennessee.
Just to explain also to everybody who is listening, that who is watching, that Franklin is part of the, it's a city part of the greater Nashville area. So basically it's the metropolitan area of Nashville. And this is the exact place where we are acquiring this land. And what can I say about Nashville is that, you know, it's like a very vibrant place. It's full of energy, and it's very green, very spread out. A lot of it is built horizontally. And, you know, everything seems very safe, and it's very welcoming. People are very, let's say, open to talk with you, to meet you. I think it's a good environment. And from the business point of view, everybody is open for business, and they are looking to bring investors, and they are very, let's call it, very investor friendly.
In today's announcement, we also talk about other states that you are looking at, one of them being Miami County in the state of Florida. Can you tell us a little bit more about why the Sunshine State? Maybe to some it might seem like a retiree market. What is the biggest advantage for developers to enter Florida, and why are you looking at it?
Well, Florida and Miami in particular are, I think, top 5 U.S. States in terms of immigration. So people come from all over the world and from all over United States to live and work there. Obviously, there are a lot of people who choose to retire there because of the fantastic weather. But one should also take into account the fact that it's a state which is extremely friendly with investors. Is one of the few states that has 0 state tax. So basically you only pay the federal tax. So that has attracted huge investments from huge multinational companies and American companies, obviously. The depth of the market is just beyond comprehension for us living here in Bucharest. By comparison, I think it's 4 times bigger than Tennessee. So basically it's 4 times bigger than Romania. The level of liquidity, the level of demand is unprecedented. Even if we did everything that we are doing here in Romania, we would still be a very small player there. So our idea is basically to have a presence, to understand a little bit the market, to understand the habits of the people, to do basically exactly what we did so far here in Romania. I think a big part of our success is understanding the customer. So our edge, I think, going there is the same: understanding the customer and providing a better product for the customer. Real estate, like many people say, and it's obviously true, that real estate is a very local business. It is indeed a local business because you are using local architects, local engineers, local construction companies, and so on. Money is universal. Money can move everywhere. And the understanding of the customer, I think, is the common ground for any developer around the world. We have been working on that for the last probably 1 year. we believe we are relatively close to focusing in on what exactly we want to do and develop there. We will start doing it in order to prove that the actual estimations will come true. And provided that will come true, I think the U.S. operation can develop on its own because the market provides all the resources that a developer needs.
So Andrei mentioned that real estate is a localized business, and US is the biggest real estate market in the world. So for sure, from investors' perspective, there comes a question: what is the competitive edge of One United Properties in the United States? And also, maybe you can detail a little bit about the investment philosophy in the US and what kind of developments you want to do. Is this something similar to what you have done so far in Romania?
Our main focus will remain on Romania. This is our largest market, and Bucharest is our largest market. So we'll be focusing a lot on Bucharest, where we have most of our assets, where we make most of our profit. But we want also to develop a small operation, and maybe this operation will grow in time in the United States, because just the market is so rewarding for investors and for developers. And it's maybe the most investor-friendly place that I've ever been so far. And these two places, Nashville and Miami, are two of the top 5 fastest growing places in the United States. So the fact that the microeconomy, the local economy is growing so fast, it gives an advantage to a developer present in that market. So we are quite excited about that. And we'll be trying to build step by step with a local team, with a great product, and we'll be building a good network of clients that love our product there, and we'll take it step by step.
In terms of risks, what are the key risks that you are considering or you're taking into consideration as the plans in the US are progressing?
Well, whenever you start a new venture, you are likely to make certain mistakes. That can be, targeting the customers. It might be perhaps, cost overruns or certain decision in the development in terms of, changes of the product and so on. Initially, we'll obviously try to be as standardized as possible because, as I mentioned before, the US market is an extremely standardized market. The customers' expectations are very, very clear and extremely well defined. And as we grow, we may make a few twitches, few changes in order to see how the market reacts. Because, it's in the human nature that, people should react well to better product. So we believe that there is room for improvement there. We will try our best. Our exposure, it's going to be obviously limited to the capital invested because every operation it's on a standalone basis. Initially, I would say that the biggest risk would be to have lower profitability, although that may sound like wishful thinking, but nobody died making lower profit.
It might be surprising to people, but the profitability is quite high. So it's almost similar. The expected profitability is almost similar to what we are doing in Romania, which maybe some people don't expect. But this is because United States is a fast-growing market with a big inflow of population every year. And in a way, it's almost like the largest developing economy in the world. So it's maybe some people think about US like a mature market, like Western Europe, but it's not. So United States is just a fast developing economy. And I think this provides an opportunity for us also in terms of profitability.
How does this move impact Romania? Is there going to be a localized team in the United States? Are you and Andrei going to get involved on a daily basis?
We already have a small local team on the ground, and we'll be developing this local team. We will do our best to use as many subcontractors as we can, so we don't have a big fixed cost structure there. And me and Andrei, we will be involved in the strategic decisions and in the strategic planning, but all the operation and everything will be done with the local team.
3 to 5 years from now, if we look fast forward into the future, what would make you say that the US move was successful?
Well, I think it's very difficult to predict because it may grow a lot or it may grow smaller than we anticipated. I would say that in perhaps 3 to 5 years from now, our goal would be to have something like perhaps 10% of the overall company's profitability coming from the US. That can grow bigger or can be smaller than that. We don't know yet. But as entrepreneurs, what we have found is that unless you actually do something, you will probably never find out. So we took this leap of faith going there, and we hope the results are going to be motivating for us to expand even further.
Amazing. Thank you very much. We hope this short Q&A session in this format was useful. And as usual, we will keep informing the market about the next steps via the official channels, the Bucharest Stock Exchange, and One United Properties website. Thank you all.